Hey, welcome to this Literacy Shared Adobe Express challenge. In this tutorial, we're going to use AI and cool layout tricks to create a dramatic newspaper front cover inspired by the film The Lighthouse. If you need free Adobe Express for Education accounts for your school, visit the link on screen, and there you'll also find all the other free things we do for schools like live lessons, teacher training and lesson packs. Let's get on with the challenge. So let's create a newspaper front cover for The Lighthouse. Go to the plus, give it a click and go down to flyer. Give this a new name. And the first thing we're going to do is click text on the left hand side, go to add your text and put the name in, The Lighthouse. Okay, now that we've got that, I'm going to select dynamic because I want it all to match and I want ledger to be big on the bottom. So let's do that and put it roughly into the middle there. You can see the pink line. It's going to say that's perfectly centered. And then I'm going to choose a font. So you can click view all here if you don't know which one you want to get. I think this one's pretty cool actually. So I'll use that and then I'll click again here. I want to put a shape on this. You'll see lots of newspapers with a shape and I'm going to use a basic shape. There we go. And then I'll go back into shape again. And I'm going to use shape. Fill is going to be a red. So let's move that over there. And the text fill is going to be white. There we go. Nice. Now I'm going to make it slightly bigger. Just using the corners here to drag it out and then make sure it's centered again. Perfect. That looks great. Hey, I hope you're having fun so far. Teachers, if you'd like a PDF mapping this activity to the NCCE Teach Computing curriculum, follow the link that's on screen now. Okay, back to the challenge. Next up, we've got to put a headline in. So let's go to text again, add your text. Okay, let's go to dynamic layout once again. I want to make sure that it just matches either side, but you are going to have to play with the size of this. I want it to be on 2 lines. There we go. That is about right. And I want it to match the width of the title of the paper as well. Great, let's bring that down. Might need to make that a bit bolder, I think. So let's go to something like, let's go to the bold one here. Great, that looks a lot more impactful. Now, next thing we're going to do is put a picture in. So let's go to media on the left-hand side. And here we're going to use artificial intelligence, text to image. I'm going to select a widescreen image here. Just going to drag it out so it's roughly the sort of size we need. And in this description box, the more description you put in, the better. Okay, now I really like this second one here. So I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to stretch it out so it roughly matches the width of everything above, but also I'm going to trim it just up there like that so it doesn't take away too much space because I want to put some text in there. That is perfect. I love it. Next thing is put some text in there. So let's go for a subheading. Go to add your text, and here's where we can give a little bit more detail. Now obviously that text is massive, so let's reduce it down. Let's go to something like 80. And then also let's change it so it's a regular font, so it's not so bold. And then all you've got to do now is kind of bring in this box. So roughly you can, I want it to kind of try and match the sides. There we go. That is perfect. So end up being 85 there. Now you can add more text if you want to. There's plenty of space there. But to fill up this space down the bottom, let me show you a couple of cool things. I'm going to add some text again. Where can my readers read more about this? Well, they can do that on page 2, for example. That would typically be how a newspaper works. They'll tell you more detail inside the paper. Let's change this so it stands out a bit. Let's go to shape. Let's go to this block one again. If you click it again, you'll be able to change things like the text fill. So let's change the shape first, the shape fill. Let's go to the dropper tool, which means we can go over and select the red from the top. And then the text fill, easy peasy, move this up to the top left. Or actually, maybe we'll do more like a yellow. That would be good. And move it over here. That's great. And also I'm thinking we should make this dynamic too. Okay, so let's decrease the font size because I also want this to fit on one line right across the page. There we go. That was it, just there. So I'm going to bring this down. I think I can make this bold. So let's do that now. There we go. And that makes it a bit more readable for people reading the newspaper. Okay, about there. And center it. Okay, let's have a little bit of fun at the bottom of the page. I'm going to go to elements here. I'm going to go over to icons. Let's put a barcode on there so that when you buy it in the shop, the shopkeeper can give it a scan and you can hand over your money. There we go. Let's make it a little bit smaller, I think. Just give some room to breathe here. Round about there. And then you can also, you might want to put in a couple of adverts, for example, that are relevant to the story or the film that you've been watching. So let's go here, add some text. Perhaps the lighthouse keeper needs an electrician now to help him fix that lighthouse. So let's put one of these in here. Now I'm going to make this dynamic as well. I want it to sit in one box. There we go. Let's make it a bit smaller as well. There we go. That's about what I need. Again, let's go down to shape. We're using lots of shapes for this. We'll choose the block. We'll click the sliders here. Text fill. Let's go for white text. And let's go for a black background. Nice. Once you've done one, all you have to do is click the three dots, click duplicate, bring that over here so it's exactly the same sort of shape and size, and then pop your new text in there. Now, if the size isn't quite working as you want, you can use things like letter spacing. So if I reduce that, it's going to just come away from the barcode. And then also if I increase the line spacing, it's going to match the box on the left hand side. There we go. Really nice. I think actually I want to move all three of these over into the center a little bit. So I click one, press shift on my keyboard, select the second, select the third, and I can move these over all at the same time, and they are now perfectly centered. There's your newspaper. Once you're ready, you can click share here and add people to this project so they can work on it with you by putting their email in the top here, or you can send it via Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, or create a view-only link so that anybody can see your work if you send it to them. And that's how you create a newspaper front cover in Adobe Express.